The most dangerous person in the world is a nigga with a library card. So guess what? You about to read today. So this book is called "Waking Up Chase: One Student's Journey to Awaken Their Full Potential" by Daryl Bellamy Jr. So yeah, I'm about to go get into this. I had this book for about almost a year now. So and I ain't never crack it open. Where's my glasses at? I'll find them in a second. But yeah, I ain't crack open this book. Blah, blah, blah. I never cracked open this book yet, so yeah, we about to crack it open today. So yeah, let's get to it. If you don't read this book once it is given to you, if you don't apply what is within, the story will become you. Don't take this lightly and don't ignore. For those who have for those who do have a great adventure in store. Stuffed in an over air conditioned SUV with my younger siblings and everything I could possibly fit for the year ahead, the feeling is definitely there. You know, the feeling of excitement with a slight edge of apprehension. The feeling you get when you are about to embark on something new or out of your comfort zone. Or should we be more honest and stay or should we be more honest and say the feeling of not really knowing what would become of this year? Actually, let's forget about this year for a moment. How about not really knowing what the next 4 years at my university will look like? Will I make friends? Will college be easier or harder? What will parties be like? Do people really drink as much as they do in all the movies I watched? And last but not least, is the guy to girl ratio skewed? I'm sorry. The answer to all my questions will the answer to all my questions only time will tell. I had a good set of friends in high school, but who says my social skills will translate to college life? I would describe myself as an average student because I did average academically. By average, I mean not terrible, but nothing to rave about. At this point, my parents are just happy I got accepted somewhere. I wonder what is going through their minds now as they sit up front, their heads bobbing slightly to each other back on to their heads bobbing slightly to each beat on the track. My bet is they are yelling and cheering inside. It's funny because as soon as they thought it's funny because as soon as that thought runs through my mind, I look at my mom and catch her face shifting to a smirk, as though she's thinking about something happy. She is organizing what she plans on doing with my room back home, I bet. Damn it, I think to myself as she's cheering inside. Let's talk about high school for a moment. Although high school, all throughout high school, I learned my teachers say in college this and in college that. They loved saying what a college professor would or wouldn't accept. I will come a little late to class sometimes to hear a college professor is not going to accept that. A college professor probably couldn't care less in a class of 300 plus. I would say under my breath. My teachers loved giving advice, but I evaluated everything with but I evaluate but I evaluated everything they said with a little something called common sense. What did they really know anyway? Most of them haven't been in college in over 10 to 20 years, some more than that. What do they really know? I did all my research. I read a few articles online. I watched things you should know about college, TikTok slash YouTube videos, and even read a few articles and lists to get a feeling of the upcoming years ahead. Not to mention, I skimmed through a few college prep books I received as a graduation gift. Trust me, I'm ready. My online orientation and admitted student visit also gave me a good idea of what to expect. But by now, I've come to the conclusion I'll just have to experience what college is for myself in order to understand. How long, Dad? My younger sister yells to my dad driving. 30 minutes, he says back. Is Braden there yet? My mom turns back to me. He arrived about a week ago, I replied, laughing at myself. Actually, he arrived an hour ago, I said, correcting my previous joke, knowing it had gone straight up their head. If there was one person my parents trusted more than me, and I believe me, and believe me, there's probably a list of folks. It will be Braden. Braden has been my best friend since sophomore year of high school. We get along well because he knows how to have a good time. Anytime we're together, you can be sure it's not going to be boring. My parents love Braden because he's the kid every parent wants their kid to hang out with. Braden is responsible except for when he was with me, of course. He was also overly involved in high school and naturally smart, the type of smart that can look at an assignment once and immediately get it. Yeah, that was Braden, all right. He could also get away with anything because no one would ever suspect him. Me, on the other hand, all fingers were always pointed my way. If I were being completely honest, I would have to admit that Braden kept me out of trouble multiple times. So when it came to choosing a school, there was no other option but to not only attend my university but to room together. I reached down and grabbed my phone. 30 minutes till freedom, I texted Braden. Hell yeah, man, he responds. Our room, I ask. Nice size for a good party, lol, he shoots back. Hey, I'll be there in 30, I type. I knew with Braden as my roommate, this year would be dope. I'm 30 minutes closer to my freedom. The freedom to not have answer to my parents or follow their rules for curfew. I'll finally be able to make my own decisions. To say my parents are overbearing is an understatement, but I still found a way to have a good time. They insisted on me being home by a certain time, showing them certain school assignments, and meeting my friends and their parents. They wanted to be able to control almost everything I did. Not anymore, they won't. I'm ready to finally take control of my life. My parents also wanted me to be involved in extracurricular activities in high school, but I enjoy spending time with my friends after school instead of wasting time in the club meetings or volunteer activities. I joined a club junior year for resume purposes, did the least work possible, and hyped it up in my college essay. Win, you know what I mean? My goal for the next 4 to 5 years is simple: go to as many classes as I need in order to pass, enjoy the parties, and take full advantage of the social experience. The 30 minutes my dad mentioned earlier had gone fast. I noticed the college entrance was coming up ahead. All right, that's the first two chapters of Waking Up Chase by Daryl Bellinamy Jr. I'll get back to y'all the next time I pick up the book. And with that being said, I'm out.